Emma Wilson sat frozen in the exam hall, her phone vibrating for the 10th time. Final year nursing exams weren't supposed to be interrupted, but something felt wrong. She glanced at the screen, 12 missed calls from her neighbor, Mrs. Johnson. Her hands went cold. 20 minutes later, Emma burst through the doors of General Hospital Lagos. Her mother, Grace, lay motionless on a gurney, the left side of her face drooping unnaturally. The doctor's words hit like bullets. Severe stroke, partial paralysis, emergency surgery required within 2 weeks. The cost? $8.5 million. Emma's entire world cost less than that. Her scholarship covered tuition. Her cafe job barely paid rent. She had $340,000 in savings, not even 5% of what they needed. Grace's weak voice broke through Emma's panic. "Let me go, baby." "Never," Emma whispered, gripping her mother's hand. Emma didn't sleep for 6 days. She worked morning shifts at the cafe, afternoon shifts at a pharmacy, night shifts washing dishes at a hotel. Her body screamed for rest. Her bank account barely moved. 3 banks rejected her loan applications. No collateral, no guarantor, no hope. On day 7, she collapsed during her shift. Her classmate Jennifer found her in the bathroom, sobbing into her hands. There's a way," Jennifer whispered, shame coloring her voice. "A discreet agency. They connect women with wealthy men who pay for companionship." Emma's stomach turned. "I can't." "Your mother has 1 week left," Jennifer said quietly. That night, Emma stared at her mother's medical chart. Grace's condition was worsening. The paralysis was spreading. Emma picked up her phone and dialed the agency's number. The presidential suite at Echo Hotel felt like another planet. Emma's hands trembled as she knocked on the door, her mind screaming at her to run. Marcus Sterling opened it, tall, exhausted-looking, with gray eyes that seemed to carry their own weight. He wasn't what she expected. "You look terrified," he said gently. "Do you want to leave?" Emma shook her head, thinking of Grace's hospital bed. "Then sit. Talk to me first." For 3 hours, they just talked. Marcus confessed his loneliness, how success had isolated him from genuine connection. Emma shared her mother's illness, her desperation. When it finally happened, Marcus was tender, careful, nothing like the cold transaction she'd braced for. Afterward, he held her while she cried. The money appeared in Emma's account at dawn, all $8.5 million. Grace's surgery happened that afternoon. 12 hours later, the doctor emerged smiling. "The procedure was successful. Your mother will recover." Emma collapsed against the wall, relief flooding through her. When Grace woke 3 days later, she grabbed Emma's hand. "How did you pay for this?" "Emergency nursing scholarship," Emma lied, the words tasting like ash. "They chose me because of my grades." Grace cried with gratitude. Emma smiled through her guilt. Some sacrifices, she told herself, were meant to stay hidden forever. She was wrong. 3 months later, Emma vomited for the 5th morning in a row. The pregnancy test showed 2 pink lines. No, no, no. She tried calling the agency, disconnected number. She searched online, website gone. Marcus Sterling had vanished like smoke. Emma sat on her bathroom floor, test stick in hand, her entire future crumbling. She was 23, a new graduate, a single woman with a recovering mother, and now a baby growing inside her. She touched her stomach. "I'll protect you," she whispered, "even if I have to do it alone." 2 years changed everything. Emma now worked at St. Nicholas Private Hospital, her nursing certificate finally worth something. But her paycheck disappeared faster than it arrived. Childcare, rent, diapers, formula. Little Daniel had Marcus's exact face. Those same gray eyes stared up at Emma every morning, a constant reminder of that night. Grace helped with babysitting, but her questions never stopped. "Where's his father? Why won't you tell me?" Emma's colleagues whispered when she passed. "Single mother. Probably doesn't even know who the father is. Emma ignored them all. She had survived worse than gossip. Every night she tucked Daniel into bed and promised him, "We don't need anyone else. Just us." The head nurse called Emma into her office on a Tuesday morning. "We're short-staffed in the VIP wing. I need you up there today." Emma had never worked the VIP floor. That's where wealthy Lagosians came for private treatment, where rooms cost more per night than she made in a month. Room 307's chart showed serious trauma. Car accident victim, multiple injuries, 3 days unconscious. Emma pushed open the door with her medication tray. Her heart stopped. Marcus Sterling lay in the bed, his face bruised, left leg in a cast, monitors beeping steadily around him. The tray slipped from Emma's hands, crashing to the floor. His assistant Robert jumped up. "Are you okay?" Emma couldn't breathe. After 2 years of wondering, searching, trying to forget, here he was, broken and unconscious, 10 feet away from her. For 2 weeks, Emma became Marcus's primary nurse. She changed his bandages, monitored his vitals, helped him with physiotherapy exercises. He remained unconscious for the first week. Emma found herself studying his face, remembering that night, wondering what would happen when he woke up. On day 9, his eyes opened. He stared at her, confused, medicated, trying to focus. Emma's hands shook as she adjusted his IV drip. 3 days passed. Marcus kept watching her, his forehead creased like he was trying to solve a puzzle. During a physiotherapy session, Emma reached to support his injured arm. Their hands touched. Recognition exploded across his face. "Victoria Island," he whispered. 2 years ago. The hotel. Emma's heart turned cold. The bandage roll fell from her hand, bouncing across the tile floor. Their eyes locked, and everything Emma had built came crashing down. Marcus requested a private consultation. Emma tried switching his care to another nurse. He refused. "We need to talk," he told the head nurse. "It's urgent." Emma found herself cornered in the hospital garden during her lunch break. Marcus stood there, still using a cane, his eyes burning with questions. "Why did you disappear?" "I didn't disappear, you did." Emma's voice shook. "The agency shut down. I had no way to find you. You could have tried harder. You were a transaction, Marcus. One night, that was the deal. Is that all it was to you?" Emma's composure cracked. Tears spilled down her face. "You have a son. His name is Daniel. He's 2 years old and he has your eyes, and I've been raising him alone because I had no choice." Marcus stumbled backward like she'd punched him. Marcus sat heavily on the garden bench, his face pale. "A son," he whispered. "I have a son." "You don't have anything," Emma shot back. "I have a son. You were just—" "That night changed me, Emma." Marcus looked up, his gray eyes wet. "I've been searching for you ever since, not because of guilt, because I fell in love with you." Emma's anger faltered. "What?" "There's something else you need to know." Marcus's voice dropped. "I have hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. My father passed away from it at 42. I'm 37 now, and it's getting worse." Emma's medical training kicked in. "How long?" 3 to 5 years without a transplant." He paused. "Daniel might be my only genetic match. He could save my life." Emma's world tilted. "No." Marcus insisted on a paternity test. Emma agreed, knowing the truth would come out anyway. The results arrived 5 days later. 99.9% probability of paternity. Marcus sat in his car outside Emma's apartment building, staring at Daniel's photo on his phone. His son, 2 years of his son's life gone. But Emma's peace didn't last long. Victoria Sterling, Marcus's mother, arrived at Emma's door 3 days later with 2 lawyers and a briefcase full of documents. $50 million, Victoria said, sliding a check across Emma's small kitchen table. "Take it. Disappear. Pretend this child doesn't exist. Emma's hands clenched into fists. Get out. Be reasonable. You're a nurse living in a one-bedroom apartment. My son is a billionaire. You'll never fit into our world. My son is not for sale. Emma opened the door. You people think money solves everything. It doesn't. Now leave before I call security. Victoria's face hardened. You'll regret this. Marcus defied his mother's orders. He rented an apartment in Emma's neighborhood, a modest two-bedroom that shocked his driver. He started showing up at her building with toys for Daniel, books, a small bicycle. Emma kept refusing to let him in, but Daniel saw him through the window one afternoon. Mommy, who's that man? Nobody, baby. He looked sad. Emma's resolve weakened. She watched Marcus sit on the bench outside their building every evening, just waiting, hoping. Finally, she let him meet Daniel. Marcus knelt down to the toddler's level, tears streaming down his face. Hi, buddy. Daniel tilted his head. Why are you crying? Because I'm happy. Uncle Mark is silly, Daniel giggled. Marcus looked up at Emma. Can I take him to the park, just for an hour? Emma hesitated, then nodded. Victoria Sterling wasn't finished. She hired a private investigator who dug into Emma's past. The defunct agency, the transaction, the $8.5 million transfer, all of it came to light. Anonymous emails flooded St. Nicholas Hospital's administration office. Your nurse Emma Wilson has a history of prostitution. Is this who you want caring for patients? The emails spread to staff accounts. Emma's colleagues stopped talking when she entered rooms. Whispers followed her down hallways. The head nurse called her in. Emma, we're placing you on suspension pending an investigation into these allegations. They're lies. The evidence shows a large payment from Marcus Sterling 2 years ago. The same Marcus Sterling currently in our VIP wing. You need to explain this. Emma couldn't. The truth would destroy her mother, who still believed the scholarship story. She cleaned out her locker in silence. That evening, Marcus confronted his mother in her mansion study. You've destroyed an innocent woman's career. Fix this, or you'll never see me or your grandson again. 3 weeks later, Marcus collapsed during a business meeting. Emma received the call from his assistant. Despite everything, she rushed to the hospital where Marcus lay in intensive care, his heart failing faster than doctors predicted. The cardiologist pulled Emma aside. He needs a transplant immediately. We've tested family members. His mother isn't compatible. His father is deceased. We'd like to test Daniel. Emma felt the floor drop away. He's 2 years old. Living donor lobectomy. We'd only take a small portion. Children recover remarkably well. No. Miss Wilson, Marcus will pass away within 3 months without intervention. Emma sat in the hospital chapel, her head in her hands. Save the man she was falling in love with by risking their son's life? Or let Marcus pass away to protect Daniel? Grace found her there. Emma finally told her mother everything. The agency, the transaction, the pregnancy, all of it. Grace listened, then spoke quietly. Love requires sacrifice, but so does motherhood. What does your heart tell you? I don't know anymore. Emma refused to use Daniel as a donor. Instead, she launched a desperate social media campaign, searching for compatible donors across Nigeria. The story went viral. Thousands shared Marcus's case. Then Marcus's younger brother Christopher called from London. They'd been estranged for 8 years over family business disputes. Christopher saw the campaign and got tested. Perfect match. The surgery happened on a rainy Thursday morning. Christopher donated part of his heart to the brother he'd stopped speaking to. Marcus survived. Their family rift healed in that operating room. 6 months later, Marcus proposed to Emma at the same eco hotel where they'd met. That night I was searching for something I couldn't name. Turns out I was searching for you. The wedding was small. Grace walked Emma down the aisle, fully recovered now. Daniel carried the rings, grinning proudly. Victoria Sterling attended, tears streaming down her face as she apologized to Emma. Emma used Marcus's money to open the Grace Wilson Foundation, helping single mothers facing medical emergencies, giving them options beyond desperation. Standing at her foundation's opening ceremony, Emma told the crowd, "One desperate night doesn't define your worth. Your mistakes don't disqualify you from happiness, and sometimes, the darkest moments lead to the brightest futures." Marcus wrapped his arm around her waist, Daniel between them, their second child growing in Emma's belly. They'd all been searching for family. They just hadn't known it yet. Dear viewers, you just heard a story that carries a powerful lesson, one that could change someone's life, open a mind, or heal a heart. But if you walk away without liking, sharing, or subscribing, it's like silencing the voice of our ancestors who passed down these tales. Don't let their wisdom fade. Don't be the reason the next person never hears this message. Like, share, subscribe. Let the story live on. Thank you for watching.